Hi.
Hello guys, if you're brand new to my channel, my name is Nikki and this is my book nook. Y'all, today we are talking about another book by my favorite author, and quite honestly, my new favorite book by my favorite author. We're talking about Punk 57 by Penelope Douglas. Oh my God, you guys. You guys have heard me ramble about the ridiculousness that is Penelope Douglas on this channel for an absurd amount of time, but you're just gonna have to let me do it a little bit longer. Penelope Douglas is unlike any author I've ever read before. She's a genre all her own. I feel I always describe her books as dark romance thrillers. Like, she has several books and they all are the same kind of vibe. Like, they all have those same elements. Like I said, the dark romance, the kind of thriller, the kind of mystery to it, trying to figure out what's going on. They all jump between multiple perspectives. Sometimes they jump from past to present, and they are all the same writing style. Like, it's unmistakable. You know you're reading a Penelope Douglas book when you're reading it. But every one of her books are so different. Like, they all have romance, they all have some scandalous element to them, but every book story setting is so completely different, and I don't know how she does it. Like, I don't know how all her books are so different yet so similar at the same time. I don't know, but I literally can't get enough of it, and this book was so different from all her other books I've read, but I loved it so much. And it was my favorite, and I'm just so excited to talk about it to you guys. I'm not gonna be giving away full-on spoilers in this video. As always, if I love a book, I want you guys to go read it. So I'm just gonna generally kind of go through what this book's about, talk about it, give you all my thoughts, and yeah, let's get into it. So Punk 57. This story follows a guy named Misha and a girl named Ryan. Whenever they were in 5th grade, they went to separate schools, a town apart from each other. If you guys read the Devil's Night series, Thunder Bay is a part of this story. So Misha is from Thunder Bay, Ryan is from Falcon's Well. They're like 30 minutes apart from each other, but their 5th grade teachers paired them up to be pen pals. They did it with their whole class, but because Misha and Ryan both have very kind of like gender neutral names where you can't totally tell if they're a guy or a girl, their teachers messed up and paired them up on accident with each other. And it was meant to be a thing where it just happened like throughout 5th grade. They were supposed to send a couple letters back and forth, but Misha and Ryan have kept up this pen palship, this relationship, purely through letters their entire life, like all through middle school, all through high school. They're both like seniors in high school now, and they still have written these letters back and forth. They've sworn to each other all these years to keep it simply as that. They were never gonna look each other up on social media. Obviously they know each other's names, they have each other's addresses because they send these letters, but they were never gonna look further into each other because they didn't wanna ruin what it was that they had. They don't have each other's phone numbers. They literally just communicate through these letters. And as can be expected over the years, Misha has kind of fallen for Ryan. Like, he tells her everything, like she's his closest friend, even though he's never met her, he doesn't know her in real life, but they've shared so many personal details with each other, and he's just so enamored by Ryan because she is really just like insightful. She just says beautiful words. She just really, not to be basic, but like she's just not like most girls. And Misha is in a band, he writes music, and Ryan has over the years helped him out a ton with lyrics and songwriting, and like so many of the songs in his band have been inspired by like conversations that Misha's had with Ryan. And yeah, he's just basically in love with this girl that he's never really met. So the story starts out, and basically Misha is at this event and he ends up seeing Ryan. He puts 2 and 2 together. Oh my God, this is Ryan Trevorrow, the girl that I've been talking to all these years, and she's not what he thought she was. Ryan has always portrayed this idea as like she's like a girl that doesn't fit in, and she doesn't understand like why people are the way that they are, and she just doesn't feel like she's ever belonged, and she hates, you know, popular girls and all the people in school that act like they're better than everyone, and like all this stuff. And when Misha actually sees Ryan in real life, he realizes she is that popular girl. She is that mean girl. She's everything that they've gone back and forth talking about, saying that they've hated all these years, and that she's basically been like a complete fraud. And she has no idea of him. She doesn't know of his existence, aside from Misha, who's in the letters. But yeah, he's completely like distraught over this. He's just like, oh my God, like this girl that I thought I loved is not who I thought she was. So from there, there's kind of a time jump. There's like a 3-month time jump, and something that night, the same night that Misha saw Ryan, something really kind of traumatic and awful happens in his personal life. So we fast forward now 3 months and we're kind of from Ryan's perspective, and we see that Misha has not written her in 3 months. We see that, you know, she kind of has always felt the same way about him. Like, he's her best friend. She shares all her deepest thoughts with him, and she misses him. And she's like, why is he not writing to me? I don't understand. And then basically we see Ryan at school, and there's only a few weeks left in her senior year, but this new guy shows up at her school, and we know, but she doesn't know, it's Misha. But he is going by a different name. His name there is Mason. And we know that it's Misha, but she has no idea. Like Penelope Douglas always does, this book is both perspectives. So we're seeing inside of Misha's head, and we know that he's at this school for a reason, like, but we don't know why. We're trying to figure out why exactly he's come to Falconswell, why he's at this school. It's clear that he's not exactly there for Ryan, but at the same time, he's kind of there for Ryan, and he's kind of like there to give Ryan a wake-up call in a way. She, like I said, is like the mean girl, the bully of the school, most popular. She's a cheerleader, like literally everything that she has always proclaimed that she hated. And she is like queen bee. She talks down on everyone. She makes fun of kids because clearly there's some like deeper insecurity there. Like, she has this desire to fit in. And so Misha / Mason like makes it his mission to kind of dethrone her. It turns into a bit of like a bully romance, but you know, because you're seeing inside of Misha's head, it's coming from a place of like, you're better than this, what are you doing? But at the same time, he's so like distraught and heartbroken and like upset that this girl that he thought he loves is like not who she thought he was. So he's like totally pissed. But at the same time, this is a girl he shared like all his personal information with, like all his darkest secrets all this time. So like he has this like deep love for her, but he's angry, and he also just wants her to like be the best version of herself and like screw all your crappy friends. And like, so yeah, as can be expected with the Penelope Douglas book, there's so much angst, there's so much tension. It is so very spicy, but what I will say is Penelope Douglas is kind of known for her spice. Like, she writes the most ridiculous, wild spice of any author I've read. Like, it is her wheelhouse, it's what she does. But in this book, I was so thoroughly invested in the story that the spice was like on the back burner. When it happened, it was like a little treat, it was a cherry on top. It definitely has a lot of that in it, but not as much as her other books. And I promise you, it was all great, but like, my point is, this story was so good, so enthralling, so suspenseful, because obviously the whole time you're like, this is gonna have to come to a head. Like, she doesn't know this is Misha. Like, she's still over here like, where's Misha? Why isn't he written to me? Who's this guy Mason that I hate, but is also very attractive, and he's a bully to me, but I can't stop thinking about him. And again, where's Misha? And he's over here and he knows this is Ryan, and he knows like, oh my God, eventually I have to tell her, and I love her, but also I hate her. And it is so good. There were so many twists and turns in this, so many things I didn't expect to happen. I literally just, I was so confused the whole time, but then when things were revealed, I was just like, oh my God. It was so good. I literally couldn't have loved this more. I gave it a big fat 5-star. It's my favorite of Penelope's books that I've read, and I'm getting really stressed because I'm running out of her books. I literally just have the last book of the Devil's Night series, which I've been holding out on because I want to read it during like the week of Devil's Night. And then I have the Bully / Fallaway series, and that's all I have of her left until I'm caught up, until she writes more, which she's always writing more. I know there's more stuff coming, but I look so forward to reading her books because she's the greatest author. Her stories are so good, I can't put them down. They are so spicy, they are kind of dark and thrilling, and like, you just never know what's gonna happen. She is so ridiculously talented and underrated, and I love her so much. But yeah, this book was so good. There was so much like character development, so much relationship building, and honestly, like, even though it was like a crazy, wild, spicy story, a really just like awesome message at the end of it, and it just made you rethink things in a lot of ways. And Penelope just has a way of doing that, giving you a really entertaining story that also just makes you think and keeps you guessing. And yeah, I could ramble for another 3 hours about this book, but I will not. If y'all read Punk 57, let me know all your thoughts down below. I literally want to reread it right now, but I will not. I will refrain. I will talk to you guys very soon.